The deadly and devastating wildfires in Los Angeles are drawing new attention to U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's comments about one of Canada's most valued natural resources.
You have millions of gallons of water pouring down from the north with the snow caps in Canada and all pouring down. And they have essentially a very large faucet.
It's not for sale, won't be for sale ever.
But never say never. Never say never.
That will never, ever happen.
A new tension is quietly rising across the world, and it's not about oil, gold, or land. It's over the most basic ingredient of life, water. Yes, this isn't just a fear anymore. The American West is seriously running out of water, and in response, Donald Trump has suggested a bold solution. The United States may one day need Canada's water. Canada, however, has already responded with a firm and clear answer. No, but here is the most unsettling part. Experts warn that what looks like a simple exchange of statements is actually a storm quietly brewing beneath North America. What exactly is this storm? And why is it already sending shockwaves across borders? Let's dive in. It all started recently, when Donald Trump said something no world leader had openly said before. America is running out of water. And there's only one place that can truly help them: Canada. At first it sounded like a casual statement, but in Canada it landed like a warning shot, because beneath his words was a message no one could ignore. The world's strongest superpower may one day come looking north, and if that day comes, it likely won't arrive with empty hands. That's why Canada's Prime Minister, Mark Carney, responded clearly: Canada's water isn't for sale. Just those 5 words were enough to change everything, and from that moment a quiet tension began building on both sides. Because this isn't just an exchange of political statements between two leaders. The truth is, America is already facing an extreme water shortage. The Colorado River, once powerful enough to carve the Grand Canyon, now struggles to reach the ocean. Lake Mead, one of America's largest reservoirs, has dropped to record low levels. Lake Powell has also fallen dramatically, exposing rock walls that were underwater for decades. But that's not all. States depending on these waters, Arizona, Nevada, and California, are under intense pressure. Even California's Central Valley, which produces a massive share of America's fruits and vegetables, is struggling. And here's the worst part. Trump openly admitted something that shows how serious the situation is. Technology won't fix this. Conservation won't save them. That's why, at the end of the day, America will need water from somewhere. And Canada is the first name on the list. But after Canada's sharp no, one thing became clear. This isn't just a disagreement. It's the first hint of a future where two close allies may stand face to face over the most basic resource on Earth. But why did Canada shut the door so quickly? Well, the reason behind this decision is far deeper than anyone expected. Canada holds roughly a fifth of the world's fresh water. It has more than 2 million lakes, large river systems, and vast wetlands. This is a natural advantage that very few countries have, especially compared to the United States. But for Canada, this water belongs to the country and its people. It is not a product to be sold. It is a resource meant to support Canadian people today and in the future. Mark Carney has warned that if Canada ever begins selling its water like oil, the consequences could be serious. He explains that once Canada begins exporting water, international trade laws could make it difficult to stop. Carney calls this a threat to national survival, saying that selling water would be like selling the country's future. And if Canada allows freshwater trade to begin, it could lose control within a single generation. That is why Canada is currently moving in the opposite direction. It is spending billions on water conservation. And to be honest, this caution makes sense, because, believe it or not, the world is moving closer to those fictional water wars we once only saw in movies. In some places, this storm has already begun, and America is now right at the center of this. But the most haunting fact is, this is only going to get worse. What we're seeing today is just the first chapter of a much larger global crisis. Because fresh water is disappearing faster than we ever imagined, from the Middle East to Africa, from Asia to South America, nations are quietly competing for every drop they can secure. The United Nations has already warned that by 2030, nearly half the world's population could face severe water shortages. And when a resource becomes scarce, history tells us what happens next. People fight. Soon, water will be treated like oil. Countries will start looking for water beyond their own borders, and eventually, powerful nations could move to control or dominate weaker ones to secure it. So here we are. What just happened between the US and Canada is not the end of the story. It's the warning sign. A sign that the world is heading into an era where the next big conflict may not be over land, or gold, or oil, but water. What do you think about all this? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video eye-opening, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.